Go. Hello, everyone. We are here today to talk about what we can learn from The Great Gatsby. That was our prompt, and this is our project. So basically, our theme is by contrasting Daisy's two possible love interests in the novel The Great Gatsby and demonstrating the futility of Gatsby's dream, Fitzgerald suggests that future generations must prioritize emotional connections over material desires and warns of the limits of societal and class mobility.
So our first claim is Fitzgerald presents Daisy's tragic choice of wealth above love in order to convey the future generation, in order to convey to the future generations that the importance of choosing emotional connections over material desires.
So this is our first quote that we chose. So basically, it passed, and he began to talk excitedly to Daisy, denying everything, defending his name against what accusations that had been made and had not been made. But with every word, she was drawing farther and farther into herself. So he gave up, and the only dead dream fought on was the afternoon as the afternoon slipped away, trying to touch what was no longer tangible, struggling unhappily, undespairingly toward that lost voice across the room. So basically, this quote comes from the climax of the book, basically where Daisy pretty much rejects Gatsby. And we basically chose this quote because Daisy is Fitzgerald. The representation of Daisy is one of someone who prioritizes financial well-being over like her emotional connections, because Daisy loves Gatsby, right? But the thing is, what she learns here after Tom tells her that Gatsby's fortune is unsustainable because it's illegal, right? And so since she loves him, it's such a big deal that she chooses Tom because she chose Tom because Tom's wealth is sustainable, right? It comes from a long lineage of his parents, right? And that's basically what this quote is showing. And Daisy is such a sad person. Her life is such a tragedy that it makes sense that Fitzgerald is trying to warn people not to act this way. And this is our second quote. Basically, it's in the beginning of the book. It's about he was like kind of describing Gatsby's big party, right? And it's basically casual innuendo and introductions forgotten on the spot, and enthusiastic meetings between women who never knew each other's names. This quote basically sums up the general like the attitude that Fitzgerald had towards rich people. All of them like don't care about each other. Like they forgot their introductions in the spot, and like the enthusiastic meetings, it's all like fake, right? Like these guys' lives suck. So Fitzgerald is trying to say that even if you're rich, your life is not even going to be fun, basically. And that's one of the other reasons why he's like, you should really prioritize emotional connections, right? All these rich people have money, right? But their lives suck because they don't have actual emotional connections. So that's basically the meaning behind this quote.
So here we have one of our quotes. This is from the University of California, Berkeley. It states, in fact, research suggests that materialistic people are less happy than their peers. They experience fewer positive emotions and are less satisfied with life and suffer higher levels of anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. So when we really go into Daisy's character, we see that she isn't happy. We see she doesn't find happiness within, personal connection to people. She finds happiness within her materialistic items, whether that be the money or a car or something like that. But she just seems to find more happiness to fill kind of like that void she has within her, but she can't seem to fill it with anything.
All right.
And then we have another quote, which is very similar to the last one. This one's from Knox College by Tim Kasser. We found that The more highly people endorse materialistic values, the more they experienced unpleasant emotions, depression, and anxiety, the more they reported physical health problems such as stomach aches and headaches, and the less they experienced pleasant emotions, they felt satisfied with their lives. So really, this is just backing up kind of the same thing, just showing us that it could cause just like physical health problems, which we don't really, see. But I think this quote's more going into the materialistic values, but they definitely just backs up the same point we've been going over so far.
Okay, so this is our second claim, which is through the bleak portrayal of Gatsby's dream of achieving wealth and status, Fitzgerald cautions future generations of the restraints of class slash societal mobility. So this basically says that, and through the book, Fitzgerald tells future generations that there's a limit in that you can't always, like, what you see is not always what you can get. It's like there's only so much you can do, and like even if you start from the bottom, yes, you can go up, but you can't go to the top or exceed something that is out of your reach that you can't ever become because you are what you are.
All right. So this quote is from the book, and it says, "That was it. I never understood it before. It was full of money. That was the inexhaustible charm that rose and fell in it, the jingle of it, the cymbal song of it. High in a white palace, the king's daughter, the golden girl." So this quote is it's they before the climax, before they go to the hotel. This is like when they're in their house, when they're in Daisy's house, and basically, uh, Daisy starts speaking, and Gatsby's like, her voice is full of money, right? And then Nick, he hears that and he has this like epiphany of it, right? He's like, I'd never understood it before. Like it's just full of money, right? So basically, this represents the reason why like Gatsby is so obsessed with Daisy. Gatsby obviously grew up poor, uh, and his whole life journey was to become rich. Like that's his main goal. He wanted the American dream, um, and he became rich. He got a lot of income. He got a lot of money, but the thing is, money is not wealth. There's a difference, and the wealth aspect he never achieved. And the way he wanted to achieve that was marry someone who comes from a rich family, because the only way you can get wealth is come from a rich family. So as soon as you're born, you can't, it's over unless you marry someone. And so right here in this passage, Nick is like having this epiphany. He's like, I never realized it before. uh it's so simple. Gatsby only liked Daisy because she was rich, and Gatsby only liked Daisy because she represented uh him like achieving actual wealth.
Okay, so this graph right here shows like throughout the years of uh, let's say like the next generation, and then how they surpass their parents in their income and like they making more. So like each generation they make more money, and this graph shows that there's a decline, and it gets harder and harder for people to actually do it because at some point there's a limit you reach that it's hard to pass your parents because they're already like reaching the limit because like Mike, the claim said, class mobility is restricted. There's only so much you can change once you reach a certain point. This quote is from the Institute of Fiscal Studies, and it says raising house prices, growing wealth, and stagnant earnings means the inheritance is becoming more and more important in terms of chance of lifetime income. This is basically saying that the inheritance that you get from your family or like whoever you get it from, and now since it's harder to exceed your parents or like grow and go up and down the social ladder, that is really important to establish how much money you have and how much you have a reserve and how much wealth you have, because that's the main source of where your big sum of money that you're going to get from that you're not going to be have to like spend, or like it's just like a big portion that's just given to you, and it's like the biggest portion you'll ever receive all in one time.
All right.
The second quote is from the World Economic Forum. The average hourly wage in 1964, when converted to the 2018 dollars, is about $20.27 compared to the 22.65 cents as the average hourly wage in 2018. That represents the mere 11% increase in the span of 54 years. So it's basically just showing you more facts about how much how much more we get paid comparatively. Which, if you think about it, in 50, almost 60 years, we only went up 10%, which is not really much when you think about it. And it just reinforces the fact that class mobility is hard to achieve. Next slide.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Peace out.